This next comic that I'm going to bring up has a special place in my heart. He's one of my oldest friends, and a very, very funny guy. He was the writer of Power Rangers. Anybody here grow up with Power? Come on. Power Rangers and Spider-Man. Come on. He's appeared at comedy clubs in and around Los Angeles, originally from Honolulu. Give it up for Mr. Mark Hoffmeier.
Thank you, Joe. Gosh, it's great to be here. It's really great to be anywhere outside of my living room, to tell you the truth. You know, I'm sorry I'm a little distracted this evening. I had a really rough day. I had to take my dog to the vet, and I discovered she's an anti-vaxxer. So she needed to get her parvo shot and she refused to get it. She looked at me and she said, "I don't know what's in it. It's too new. How do I know it won't alter my DNA?" I should have never named her Karen. Okay. So, you know, I was really troubled. First of all, because I'm kind of liberal, and second of all, because I could understand my dog talking and I wasn't even high. And I found out she'd been spending a lot of time on QAnon websites. Did you not? So then she looks at me and she says, "How do I know the vaccine won't put a tracking chip in my body?" Look, I was just trying to calm her down. I wasn't thinking. I said, "Well, because I've already put a tracking chip in your body." She was outraged. "What? What? I suppose next you're going to tell me I got a forced hysterectomy when I was a puppy." I said, "You know, forced is really the wrong word." I said, "You know, the dog adoption people made me get you that so that you could be licensed." Okay? Licensed? I'm licensed and I have a tracking chip in my body, and you follow me around the park and collect my little poops in a bag for the lizard people, probably, right? Oh, you mask hole. Oh, what has happened to my personal bodily freedom? They told me that I shouldn't ever be adopted in dogocratic California. Right, so then PETA got involved, and then she hired a lawyer, right? Oh, a real bulldog. Yeah, and now my dog has been legally emancipated. That's right. She owns the couch, she owns half of the backyard, right? Yeah, first thing she did was go out and buy a bunch of guns, because America, right? Guess what, now she's running for Congress, okay? Sure. Yes, as a Republican. No, I'm sorry, I'll correct that. I meant as a Republican. Oh, I know, right? Hey, look, she's already raised $250,000, right? Mostly from small donors. She gets a lot of letters like this. "Dear Karen, here's $50. Even though you are a Shiba Inu mix, I think you are the most American dog I've ever met. And I'm so happy that you don't support that Black Labs Matter movement." Hey, it's getting worse though. You know, now she's talking about rounding up all the cats in the neighborhood. Yeah, something about nobody's going to say anything if she grabs all the pussies, okay? Speaking of pussies, you know who needs a cat? Yeah, Elon Musk needs a cat because, right? He's hit full Bond villain status, right? You know, I mean, I don't know if you saw this. A few weeks ago, Bernie Sanders was dinging him because he's a gazillionaire that doesn't pay enough taxes. And Musk replied in the manner of a computer trying to sound human by saying, "I'm accumulating resources to make life multiplanetary." I was like, dude, stop using your space capsule as a bong, okay? It just seems to me that, like, when he finishes building his solar-powered Mars mansion, he's going to melt the Earth's core with some lasers mounted on friggin' sharks, right? So he's going to need a cat, right, for petting when he's trading witty repartee with the spy we send to kill him, right? "I'm sorry about your little planet, Mr. Bond, but I'm very upset that you drove an Aston Martin in your last film. You don't think I can mount machine guns and flamethrowers on one of my cars? You expect me to talk, Musk finger? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to buy some Dogecoin and smoke a bowl with me." Look, just because you're a genius does not mean you're not also an a-hole or crazy, okay? Nikola Tesla, whom Musk finger-named his company after, at the end of his life went nuts, right? He was very OCD. He had to count everything like 3 times. He couldn't stand the sight of hoop earrings. His best friends were pigeons, right? Okay. Howard Hughes, at the end of his life, had like 18-inch long fingernails he didn't cut, and he watched the movie Ice Station Zebra over and over. He peed in bottles he stacked around the room, okay? You know, Albert Einstein divorced his wife and married a giant imaginary ladybug named Gladys. Okay? Now the last one's not true. Okay? You should not get your historical facts from a comedian. In the same way, you should not expect a reality TV star to be a good president. Okay? Hey, did we dodge a bullet on the fact that Trump doesn't live here in California, right? Come on. Wait, hey, you know he'd be running for governor right now, right? Okay? You know it, right? We got a guy with a bear, we got a porn star, we got a transphobic trans person. Right? Before it's done, Ricky Schroeder's gonna throw his hat in there. Come on, that's a pretty good dinner party list at Mar-a-Lago, I'd have to say. Right? So I can just see if Trump actually lived here and he were running, he'd have his campaign announcement out in the woods, right? He'd be just like, look, I have a plan. We'll move all the homeless to the forest. We'll give them rakes. They'll clean everything up. I have a plan for ending joblessness. It involves unemployed strippers selling Bibles, okay? We're having a job fair down at the Spearmint Rhino, okay? The raging carrot stick of death. I spent the last year watching TV just to avoid him. I was like, I need to see some normal people. You know, like Joe Exotic. Okay? I watched a lot of the History Channel, and I don't know if you guys have seen the History Channel lately, but it's become nothing but Hitler and hillbillies, right? That's all it is, right? Now, hillbillies chasing snakes in the Everglades. Hillbillies making moonshine out of used antifreeze. Hitler's plans to invade Great Britain. Vegan cooking mit der Führer. I'm just like, just change the name of it already. Just make it the Hitlerbilly channel, okay? Easier, right? You know, hey, next week on the Hitlerbilly channel, we're heading down to the U.S. Capitol to do some insurrecting. I already have a show. I can sell them, right? Gator Hunting Nazis. And I know, like, every hit show needs a good theme song. So I wrote one this afternoon. Sing along if you know the words. Oh, Gator Hunting Nazis think they won the Civil War. Gator hunting Nazis eating squirrels cause they is poor. Gator hunting Nazis chasing lizards in a swamp. Gator hunting Nazis, they think Jesus is Trump. Next week on Gator Hunting Nazis, they have a special guest star, Karen the anti-vaxxer Congress dog. She's going to help them track down all those vaccine zombies that have been created by Bill Gates. I'm going to watch that episode too and make sure Karen's on it because she hides all her residual checks from me. Bitch. You know, you would think in this era of like life-saving medicine and that we can land a helicopter drone on Mars, that maybe the History Channel would like to have a program that celebrates scientists. Right, but I'm a writer. I've been in these network meetings, right? I can just see it happening. They'd say to the network exec, we'd like to do a show about scientists. And he'd say, scientists, yawn. I'm bored already. Look, why don't we give him a hillbilly lab assistant named Tater? That would be great. And that's how you'd end up with a show like Hillbilly Science. And, you know, the scientist would give it his best shot, right? You know, today on Hillbilly Science, we're going to discuss the technology behind mRNA vaccines. Hey, Doc! What is it, Tater? Can I drink the orange sludge I found in the bottom of this beaker? No, Tater, just put it down, please. Now, why don't we pivot to talking about the realities of living on the surface of Mars? Hey, Doc! What, Tater? When you're done with all your sciencey talking, can we cook up a big pot of meth? No, Tater, we can't do that. I mean, by the end of the first season, they'll just fire the scientists, and Tater will be the one running the lab, right? Hey! Today on Hillbilly Science, we're going to create us one of them half-man, half-motorcycle creatures, like what you see on the TV. Woo, doggy! Hey, I've also been watching a lot of survival shows because, right? Hey, we might be living in the zombie apocalypse. So I have some tips on those that show Bear Grylls. They never actually grill a bear. Okay? Deadliest catch, they all end up with crabs, right? Naked and afraid, they pixelate out all their junk, right? Hey, I'm afraid they're not naked. But on most of the shows, you'll get a guy, ex-military, at the end, he'll point at the camera and he'll go, in a real survival situation, you might have to end up a cannibal. And I was like, wow, could I become a cannibal? I think I could, but I'm from Los Angeles, so I would be a vegan cannibal. I'd only eat vegans because they're healthy, right? I mean, when the man-flesh food truck pulls up, I know how I'll order. Yeah, I would like the organic, free-range, grass-fed human steak. How'd you like that cooked, sir? Oh, rare. I like it bloody. Also, can I have that with a side of fava beans and a nice Chianti? Well, I have that right up for you, Dr. Lecter. Look, folks, I know it's been a weird pandemic year. I hope you've learned something. I've learned a lot. I have learned that I can cut my hair with a set of rusty craft scissors and a bowl. Okay? I've learned that I can go through a tall bottle of vodka in a single day by myself. I've learned when I run out of toilet paper, I can take an old copy of The Art of the Deal to wipe my ass with. Okay? I've also learned to be a farmer. Right? In my backyard, I planted beets and carrots and potatoes. And oh yes, I went full The Martian on my potato crop. That's right, I fertilized them with my own poop. That's right, I was crapping in a planter on the porch for 6 weeks. By the way, I'm taking orders for 8-pound bags of potatoes. Hit me up after the show. And just a note, when you make French fries out of potatoes, they actually smell like the French. Thank you, everybody. I'm Mark. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Now you know why Power Rangers was so weird.